Last month, LinkedIn drove around $400,000 in revenue to my business across 150 posts and 6 different accounts, which is roughly $13,000 every single day. Now, what most people think is that to sign more clients through the platform, you need to be better than everyone else. Engage with hundreds of posts and send 1,000 connection requests every day. And while this helps, I'm not gonna lie, there is a better way. And that's leveraging the right tools. So after spending over $24,000 testing tools for LinkedIn, there are really only 5 that we use every day that helps me and my team turn the platform into a well-oiled machine that brings us clients consistently while also saving a lot of time every week. And in this video, I'm going to show you what they are and how they allow us to create high-quality visuals to double conversions, come up with great topic ideas, and track our performance, and so much more. So most people have no idea how to create LinkedIn content, and they either copy what others in their niche are doing or use AI in the worst way possible, making their posts on like generic garbage. In our case, we do the complete opposite. We find what's already working and we double down on it, which actually brings us to our first tool, Stripe. Stripe is essentially a LinkedIn data platform. It has 3 functions that make it super useful for us. First, it finds viral pieces of content in any niche. Second, it tracks performance across multiple accounts. And third, it's a scheduling and automation tool that handles all the publishing for us. So here is exactly how we are using it. So here right now we're inside of the ColdIQ account of Stripe. So here you can see we can track the personal brands of everyone in the team. So here you can see the analytics dashboard for the entire team. So over the last year, 365 days, we had around 14 million impressions across the team. 189,000 engagements. You can see the top performing posts. Here you can see who's posting the most. Here you can see the posts that are actually performing the best. Here you can also track the analytics at an account level. So here you can see my impressions for the last month. You can see my content calendar. And then my favorite part is the inspiration part. So here you can either search by keywords. So for example, at the moment, the very trendy topic is AI agents. So I can look for the keywords. I can see what are like the posts mentioning AI agents that perform the best. So here I'm gonna look, I'm gonna rank the post mentioning AI agent by engagement. And that's usually an amazing way to find inspiration. So here we can see a post from Mish, you can see a post from Kenny. So shout out to Kenny, that went viral last week with one of his posts about N8N that did like more than 1,000 likes, 1,050 comments. And then what you can do is also search people. So for example, I can look for Michelle. And so here I can actually see the post of that creator. So that's the post 7 hours ago, a day ago. And then it's an amazing way to find inspiration from previous posts. So here you can also get some help by Stripe to set up your tone of voice. And you can also schedule some of your posts. But I actually don't recommend because this can hurt your reach. So always try to publish the post yourself. What you can do is like saving it in Notion. For example, I have my Notion content calendar, and then always try to copy the post from Notion and then post it in LinkedIn directly. Never schedule a post inside of LinkedIn. Now, finding great content ideas and replicating them won't magically make you great posts. You still need to turn those ideas into unique pieces of content with multiple angles without sounding repetitive and tiring out your audience. And that's where most creators hit a wall. And it's exactly what Claude solves us for us. I'm sure most of you are already aware of what Claude is, but for the one that don't, Claude is our AI assistant and we use it daily for multiple different things. But when it comes to LinkedIn, we use it in a very specific way. Most people use whatever generic prompt they can to write posts and then they just paste it into LinkedIn. That's a guaranteed way to make your content suck. And if you do this, you're kind of part of the content issue that LinkedIn is facing. And there is a much more effective way to leverage AI without sacrificing your writing in the process. And that's by using it as a helper. In our case, we create a new project in Claude and we start feeding it all of our brand guidelines and 15 to 20 of our best posts. If you want to go the extra mile, you can also create a Word document and add all the words that you normally say when you speak to make the AI sound a little bit more like you. Then we just ask Claude to tell us why he believes those posts perform so well and what are some other angles we can use for the same structure so that we can increase our chances of going viral over and over again. The output we get from Claude is usually a lot of golden nuggets that we turn into content that we later post on LinkedIn. Now, in case you really don't have any data to use, you can always go to Stripe and use top performing posts from your niche. You can search for your favorite LinkedIn creators, copy your favorite post, and ask Claude to reverse engineer it for your own content. And you can also ask Claude to come up with multiple angles using your own voice and data. But remember to create a new project and upload files that have as much context as possible about you so that the result can sound as close to the way that you write. Let me show you exactly how I personally do it. I'm going to take one of my recent posts that performed really well and tell Claude to give me multiple post ideas. So let's take this post as an example. So that's something I posted 3 weeks ago. Did pretty well, I had 50k impressions. So I'm gonna take the post, I'm gonna copy and paste it, then I'm gonna go inside of Claude, then I'm gonna copy it here, and then I'm gonna use my first prompts. This LinkedIn post performed exceptionally well. Please analyze why this post was successful. Look at the hook, structure, value proposition, social proof, and call to action. Give me specific reasons why each element worked. Cool, so here you see that Claude is analyzing the hook, the structure and the formatting, the value prop, social proof, call to action, psychological triggers. And then based on this, now I'm gonna say, based on this successful post about AI tools, generate 10 different angles I could use to create similar posts. Each angle should target a different pain point or outcome while maintaining the same core structure. Make them specific to B2B sales and marketing. Cool, so here you can see that Claude actually recommended 10 new angles of posts I could make. So I could do something about the death of cold email, small team scaling, attribution finally solved, competitor intelligence, LinkedIn ads that profit, AI SDR. So a lot of ideas for future posts. So here what I'm gonna do, personal brand pipeline. So let's take number 8. And so I'm gonna prompt, take angle number 8 from your previous response and write a complete LinkedIn post following the same structure as the original. Include specific metrics and outcomes that would be realistic from this angle. So here you can see like a post that of course is not ready to publish directly, but you have a great hook. It starts to mention some of the AI tools you could mention. And at least it gives you like a structure that you can follow. Of course, you need to like change the numbers, you need to change the different tools that you are mentioning, but it's a good starting point for a potential post that you could post on your LinkedIn. I would never use it to generate an entire post and then directly copy and paste it into LinkedIn, but it's a great sparring partner during your content creation. So if sometimes you're lacking ideas or you don't really know how to format a post and how to structure your ideas, I think that's really where ChatGPT and Claude can come in super handy. As I mentioned, I almost never post this directly to LinkedIn, usually because AI isn't good enough to replace the way I write my own content, so I always review this and change certain things to make sure it's up to our standards. From one successful post, we can create 20 to 30 post ideas that we can then reuse for later. But now that we have dozens of content ideas and variation, we need a place to organize all of these ideas or they will just go to waste. When I first started on LinkedIn, one of the hardest things for me to do was to get myself to write content and then manually post it to LinkedIn. However, at one point, I decided to start organizing all my content in one place so that I could know exactly what and when I was going to post, which takes me to our next tool, Notion. Notion is our main hub for content and it's where every ideas from a Scribe research get added, every variation from Claude gets stored, and every piece of content gets planned, created, reviewed, and tracked. And here is the thing, without this level of organization, you can't scale your content. And most importantly, you won't understand if it works or not. So let me show you how it looks. So here we are in my content calendar. So you can see I have all my posts already ready for LinkedIn, for X. I have all the videos ideas for YouTube. I have some chapters I still need to record for our info products for the accelerator. And so typically here you can see that today was a post about workflow. There is the link to the content. So you can see the infographics I wanted to post. You see that it's one of the 4 content pillars. So typically I'm gonna write about the entrepreneurial journey, GTM tech, AI in GTM and outbound. And here you can see the post is ready to be published. So typically what I would do, I would just go here at the time of posting. I would just copy and paste and then post it inside of LinkedIn directly. Okay, but even now that we know what content to post and we have a system to organize it all, that's still not the reason why I've been able to scale past 50k followers and over 400k in revenue per month. Because as valuable as our content is, on LinkedIn you only have 1 second to stop someone from scrolling past your post. That's where visuals become a must and the reason behind why our posts go viral all the time, or maybe most of the time. time. Visual content on LinkedIn gets 3x more engagement than text-only posts. However, a bad visual is going to hurt your post more than if it had no visual at all. And that's exactly why this is by far one of the most important parts of a process. Now, there are two different tools that we use for design depending at what stage you are with your business. We use Figma with a talented designer to create professional branded visuals. But for business owners starting out, you can also use Canva as the most accessible design platform, and it also helped us a ton in the early days. Like I spent a lot of time designing our own carousels on Canva at the beginning of Cold.IQ. Now, before we end this video, there is one more tool that could look like the most basic of all, but it has saved us literally countless times from making mistakes and ruining our reputation. And that tool is Grammarly. Grammarly is a final quality control layer, but we don't just use it to catch typos. We use it to ensure consistency in tone and clarity in the way we communicate for every piece of content we publish. When you're publishing at scale with 150 plus posts per month across multiple team members, maintaining quality becomes super hard, and that's why we use Grammarly. So there you have it, all of our 5 tools and how we use them together to post over 150 times across multiple accounts and generate $13,000 every single day. However, this is just one bit of our LinkedIn strategy, and there are a lot of other moving pieces that I can't fit in this video. So we created a 7-day GTM course, literally breaking down our entire system one day at a time so that you have time to process and implement them inside your agency. If you want to have access, click the link below. And if you want to see how I would grow my account to 50k followers all over again and scale all the way up to $6 million per year, watch this video next. Thanks a lot for watching, and I will see you in the next one.